Well, howdy, folks. Pappy here. You know, this great country of ours is built on a few simple things: hard work, a little bit of faith, and the freedom to pursue happiness. And let me tell you, I've seen a lot in my years, enough to know that happiness can sometimes show up in the strangest of packages. For me, my greatest happiness has always been my sweet wife, my beautiful bride, with hair as white as cotton in a summer field. We've been married longer than most folks have been alive, and I figured I knew everything there was to know about that woman. Boy, was I wrong. Just the other day, she comes to me with a twinkle in her eye, a look I know all too well. It's the same look she had right before she decided our old hound dog needed a hand-knitted sweater for the winter. She says, "Pappy, darling, our yard needs a little more personality. Now I take pride in my yard. I've got the greenest grass on the block. My roses are the envy of the neighborhood garden club. And the flagpole, well, that American flag flies proud and true every single day. I thought it had plenty of personality." She says, "I'm thinking gnomes." I nearly dropped my wrench. Gnomes? Little fellows with pointy red hats and long white beards? I said, "Honey, this is a respectable, patriotic American home, not some fairy tale forest. What will the neighbors think?" She just smiled that sweet, patient smile of hers and patted my hand. "They'll think we're fun, Pappy. They'll think we don't take ourselves too seriously. That's the thing about her. She's always got a way of looking at the world that's just a little bit brighter than mine." So the first one arrived. She named him Gus. He was a classic, holding a little fishing pole. She put him right by the bird bath. I'll admit, it felt a little strange. Every time I went to mow the lawn, I'd see this little ceramic fella staring up at me. I'd grumble a bit, but then I'd see my wife looking out the kitchen window, smiling at him, and well, that grumble just kinda melted away. A happy wife makes for a happy life, and a happy yard, I suppose. But then Gus got a friend, and then another, and another. Before I knew it, we had a whole dang gnome village popping up. There's one pushing a wheelbarrow, one playing an accordion, and even one decked out in stars and stripes, holding a tiny little American flag. My wife called him Patriot Pete. I had to chuckle at that one. She knew the way to my heart. She even found one that looked a little like a handyman, carrying a tiny hammer. She sat him on the porch steps right next to where I liked to sit one afternoon. Mrs. Henderson from next door came over. I was bracing myself for some questions, maybe a little judgment, but she just stood there, looked over my yard, and said, "Pappy, I just love what you've done with the place. It's so cheerful." Cheerful. That was the word my wife used. Turns out, people weren't laughing at us. They were smiling with us. The neighborhood kids would walk by and point at their favorites. It brought a little bit of joy to the whole street. I started thinking about it. We get so set in our ways, don't we? We think we know how things are supposed to be. My yard was supposed to be perfectly manicured, a testament to good old-fashioned hard work, and it still is. But now, it's also a testament to something else. It's a testament to love and to compromise and to finding joy in the little things, even if those little things are pointy-hatted ceramic fellas. My wife, she wasn't just decorating the yard. She was teaching me a lesson. She was showing me that you can love your country, you can be a proud American, and you can still have a yard full of gnomes. The two things aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, maybe that's the most American thing of all, the freedom to be a little bit different, to have a little bit of fun, to fill your own little patch of this great land with whatever makes you happy. So now, when I sit on my porch in the evening with my wife beside me, watching the sun go down and cast long shadows across the lawn, I look at all those gnomes. I see Gus the fisherman and Patriot Pete and the little handyman gnome, and I don't see a cluttered mess. I see a collection of smiles. Each one is a little reminder of the woman I love, a woman who fills my life with so much color and laughter. She's the one who keeps my world from getting too gray, too serious. And you know what? I've kind of gotten into it myself. The other day, I was at the hardware store, and what do I see? A new gnome. This one was holding a little welcome sign. I thought about it for a second, then I picked him up and brought him home. When my wife saw him, the look on her face was worth more than all the tea in China. She put him right by the front walk. "He's perfect, Pappy," she said, and he was. So if you ever drive through my neighborhood and see a yard full of gnomes standing guard under a proudly waving American flag, don't just shake your head and drive on. Stop for a minute. Remember that behind every one of those little fellas is a story about love, about laughter, and about learning to accept the wonderful, weird, and whimsical things that make our loved ones happy. It's about building a life together, one little gnome at a time. It's about finding the patriotism in patience and the freedom in fun. That's the kind of country I'm proud to live in, one where a one-eyed old handyman can learn a thing or two from his wife and a whole bunch of yard gnomes. Y'all take care now, and don't forget to find the joy in the little things. Thanks for listening to Old Pappy Ramble On. We'll see you next time.